Hello, Ponguel.
Yes, yes.
That's two of it.
Students, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Just a minute, let me share my screen.
Who's the other Congo? Hmm.
Able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Downloads. Chapter 17.
There's two Sankalps as well.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Just a minute, Pa. Just a minute.
Day
There's two
Ponguel.
Sankalps.
Day Pragnya is the one from our class, da.
How do you know?
My mom just told.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. In between வந்துச்சு. Berarti measure kan. Okay. Okay, update பண்ணி. Okay. Students, can you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so last class we just started, and so today we will start our discussion with the types of immunity, and we discussed just the types. And as a quick refresh, let us refresh on the types of immunity. So, how in first level the immunities are classified? innate and acquired. Okay, first level, innate and acquired. Innate in the sense naturally what kind of defense mechanism we have, and then how we acquire. Next one is how we acquire during lifetime. Okay, and in innate you have two types. One is non-specific for general infections. Okay, like it is not specific. Any bacteria comes or any virus comes, the body uses a specific, in the sense, a common defense mechanism. Okay, they identify the organism and then neutralize, and then they keep the method in memory. So that's non-specific. Specific in the sense, like if it is, for example, if E. coli and action is specific. If it is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, if it causes TB infection, the immunity is very specific. So that's about natural immunity. And then acquired in the sense, there are two types. Okay, we develop because of our experience to the body, how they encounter the pathogens. Okay, how the body encounters the pathogen during its lifetime, the immunity is developed. Okay, so in that two types. One is active, passive. Active in the sense, naturally the organisms enters into your body, and the real pathogen actually in natural means active, they enters into your body, and then your body develops immune system against it. So natural is by the entry of the original pathogen. Okay, artificial active in the sense like vaccination. Okay, basically the weakened form of microorganism. Okay, in artificial active immunity, weakened form of microorganism. Uh, have you taken any vaccine? Can someone tell me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I've two shots of COVID-19.
Anything else from your childhood? Yes,
So COVID
COVID-19.
19 you took.
Hey,
Okay,
I
from
mean
your
Covaxin. Covaxin.
Yeah.
okay, da. Yeah, Covishield, Covaxin, whatever. But from your childhood, do you remember different kind of vaccines?
Polio
Polio
vaccine,
vaccines.
Very good, polio vaccine, and then
sir. And there is
Pneumococcal.
yeah.
okay, then
That's all I know, sir.
only that one. Very good. So there are actually there is a immunization schedule is followed for every children. Polio is the well-known vaccine because that's given for free, and there are rabies vaccines. Okay, rabies vaccine, and then something called BCG. Okay, so there like that there are different vaccines for pox virus. Vaccines are there. Hepatitis. Okay, liver infection, hepatitis virus. For that, vaccines are there. So like that, there are different vaccines we generally take. Fine. So that is artificial active immunity. We ourselves administer the pathogen, disease causing organisms in weakened form and provoke the immune system. We provoke the immune system, and the immune system develops immunity against that particular pathogen, and it keeps the process in memory. So when the real pathogen enters into your body is trained to attack the pathogen. Example, you all love cricket, like practice match. If a person is weak for bouncer balls, okay, if a batsman is so weak for bouncer balls, and the bowling team means the team coach will allow the bowler to only bowl bouncer balls. So the person gets trained, well trained for the bouncer balls. Okay, and then if it comes in the next match or whatever, if any bowler wants to attack the batsman with the bouncer ball, that fellow will hit six. So that is like that. We train our immune system to attack the real pathogen by providing the vaccines, by administering the vaccines. Okay, so that is artificial. Okay, fine. And in passive also there are two types: natural, artificial. Okay, natural in the sense, generally our body will produce antibody, means will receive antibody. For example, through from the mother's blood, the fetus receives antibodies. So that's natural. Okay, you're not doing, but automatically the physiology of a mother and child is like that. So child means the fetus which is developing inside the mother's womb receives antibodies from mother. That's natural passive immunity. And then artificial in the sense, like we produce antibodies outside.
Like tablets.
Yeah, tablets, antibiotics. You go for hospital, you may say, doctor, I'm having 1 week of viral infection. Doctor, I'm having 1 week of bacterial infection, continuous fever, or whatever. So they give you antibodies. Okay, and means antibiotics. Basically, they say antibodies, antibiotics will be said. Okay, so that is for what? Fighting against infections. Fine. So, like that, immunity are of different types. The innate, acquired, non-specific, specific, active, passive, natural active, artificial active, natural passive, artificial passive. So that's the examples given here. So that's very, very important. You should know. Okay, fine. So I think this part also we just discussed what is innate, acquired, all these things, you know.
Yes, sir.
And then so passive immunity, again natural active, natural passive, all these things. Okay, I think now till this actually we discussed in last class. So now we will start with the antibodies. Okay, antibodies, and of course before getting into antibodies, just look into the differences and tell me, Sangal, just look into the difference and give me the summary.
Yes, sir.
Difference between active immunity and passive immunity. Just
Active
look
immunity.
into the table.
Active immunity produced by one's own body. Passive immunity received from outside, that is not developed by one's own body. Active immunity induced by
Then
infection or by contact with immunogens, immunity producing agents such as vaccines, allergens, etc. Passive immunity provided by ready-made antibodies.
Okay.
Active immunity provided effective and long-lasting protection. Passive immunity protection is less effective and temporary, that is, it does not ensure protection against a subsequent infection. Active immunity immunity effective only after a certain time gap, that time gap required for production of antibodies. Passive immunity immediately effective.
Okay, very good. See, can you all able to understand the terms? There are some new terms: antigen, antibody, immunogen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you able to understand these terms? Do you know the definition for these terms? Antigen means what? Give me example.
So we learned it in the previous chapter, but I forgot.
You should not forget. Then only if you remember, only you can understand the meaning. Antigen
They're
means what?
found in the, they're like present in the cells of the germ cells.
Very good. So, antigen means antibody generator. Antigen means what?
Antibody generator.
Generator. Okay, so means the substances which can make our body to produce antibodies against the antigen. That's why they are called what? Antibody generators. That's why antigens. Antibodies in the sense, if any substance pathogen enter into your body, our body produces molecules, especially B lymphocytes, also called what? Beta cells. The beta cells produces lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, means they produce antibodies. Okay. Do you remember I told you there are 5 types of antibodies in our body? What are the 5 types of antibody? 5 type of antibodies. Antibody is a common term. There are 5 types in our body. I told you But let me remind you, I gave a word, gamed, G-A-M-E-D. Anybody remembers? Gamed, G-A-M-E
Yes,
means
sir. Yeah.
game. Yeah, yeah. So they are the 5 types of antibody G, antibody A, antibody M, antibody E, antibody
Body.
D. Yeah, so gamed. They are the 5 types of antibodies which are produced by our B lymphocytes, or also called B cells. Okay, fine. They are antibodies. Fine. So about the antibodies only, first they are explaining the other properties. So you know what is antigen, what is antibody. Okay. Immunogen means what?
Sir, immunity producing agents.
Yeah, very good. It is well given here. Immunogens are immunity producing agents. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So now general properties of antibodies.
Sir, is the white blood cells immunity producing agent? Sorry, immunogens.
Yes, means white blood cells are also called what? Soldiers.
Yeah,
Immunogens
so
are not, no, they are not immunity generators basically. The infectious agents which enter into our body only induce, for example, vaccines, allergens, they only are immunogens.
okay, sir.
Immunity generators, these molecule stimulates the body to develop immunity generators. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Antibodies are antagonistic to immunogens. They are the response shown by the cell. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So look at the general characteristics of antibodies. General characteristics of antibodies. They are proteins, of course, and a class of immunoglobulins. Class of immunoglobulins, and they are produced by lymphocytes on exposure to antigens. Okay, and how where they are present in our body, in our blood, lymph nodes, spleen, etc. Okay, lymph nodes, spleen, blood, the antibodies are present. Look at the image actually here. You can see in the image the bottom one, pink, or you can say dark maroon color. That's the bacteria, and you can see on top, left side top, the lymphocyte means B lymphocytes. When the bacteria enters into the body, the lymphocytes produces antibody. You can see the antibodies, small star-like substances. They are the antibodies, and these antibodies surrounds the bacteria. Okay, bacteria in the bottom. There are two images. Left side the image, you can see nothing is surrounding the bacteria. Bacteria is not surrounded by anything. But in the right side thing, you can see the bacteria are surrounded by antibodies. Can you see on the surface? You can see lot of dot-like substances, star-like substances. Actually, antibody are surrounded, means antigens are surrounded by antibodies. And then look at that. The other type of cells, phagocytic cells, white blood cell, a kind of white blood cell called what? Neutrophil. And how do you say the image which is on right, top right is neutrophil? Can someone tell me? I'm telling it is neutrophil. How do you say? It is a neutrophil. What is the defining characteristics of neutrophil? We saw different type of blood cells. What is the defining characteristics of neutrophil? See, it is multi-lobed nucleus. Can you see the multi-lobed nucleus? Please understand the
Yes, sir.
basic. This is the multi-lobed nucleus. It will do phagocytosis. Do you remember phagocytosis? Neutrophils and monocytes are phagocytic in nature. We discussed there. And now look at that. The antigens which are surrounding the surrounded by antibodies or engulfed by neutrophil. Okay, and the antigens are destructed. So that's how the body reacts to the immune means foreign substances. Okay, so general characteristics. Let's again refresh. Antibodies are proteins, also called immunoglobulins. They are produced by lymphocytes. When the lymphocytes are exposed to antigens, antibodies are produced. And where they are present, lymph nodes, spleen, blood, etc. Lymph. And look at the steps how the bacteria means antibodies are produced. And then our body, the third point, look at that. Our body can make unlimited variety of different antibodies. Okay. See, if the cell is making, understand two terms: polyclonal antibody, monoclonal antibody. There are two types. Okay, can you repeat with me? Polyclonal antibody and monoclonal antibody. Please repeat.
Polyclonal antibodies and monoclonal antibody.
Okay. You know what is poly? What is mono?
Poly means multiple, mono means singular.
Very good. What is called clone?
Duplicate.
Identical copies are clone. Genetically and morphologically identical copies. In science, genetically and morphologically identical copies are called what? Clones. So, polyclonal in the sense, many type of cells are, many type of antibodies are produced. Like it may be IgG, IgA, IgM, IgE, IgD. Okay, but monoclonal in the sense, if one molecule is IgG, if
Sir,
million
what is
molecules
IG?
IG means immunoglobulin. Antibodies are also called immunoglobulins. The abbreviation of immunoglobulins are called what? IG. Can you see?
Okay.
Antibodies are proteins. They belong to class of immunoglobulins. Can you see the first point?
Yes, sir.
Globulins. So IG stands for immunoglobulins. Fine. So antibodies are specific. Look at the functions. They show variety, and then their actions, antibodies actions are specific, which means if mycobacterium enters, the action is against mycobacterium. If HIV enters, the action is against HIV. That is called what? Specificity. They are specific. And then recognition. Very, very important thing. The immune system should have this property in the sense many substances can enter from outside. For example, you are eating food. Food is containing good substances, and you're drinking water. Drinking water is good for health. But when a water is contaminated, if you're drinking the contaminated food, spoiled food, if you're drinking the contaminated water, see, the body should recognize what is good, what is not good. Okay, it should not recognize food as good. Food is also foreign substance entering from outside, but bacteria is also foreign substance entering from outside. The body should recognize which is good, which is bad. Okay, so that's very, very important. So it should recognize only the bad bacteria, bad virus, and bind to that. So that's very, very important. So that's why we have antibodies. Now also antibodies are produced in our body, but even from our very birth, we have antibodies. You know why? From where we get the antibodies?
Sir, from the mother.
Very good. From the mother, we will be getting our antibodies. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And the another last point, immunity produced by antibodies, like and post antigen, they may be short period or long period. Okay, the effect of your immunity may be short or long. Okay, for example, common cold, cholera, against that your body is developing the mechanism, but it doesn't mean that once you get cold and you're recovered, in your lifetime you never get cold. No, it is not so. Because the immunity developed for cold virus is temporary. not a permanent thing. Okay, so keep that in mind. But polio vaccine, you're administered with polio vaccine, right? All of you are during your childhood, you're administered less than 5 years old. When you were less than 5 years old, you're administered with what? Polio vaccine. But now also you're active against polio. If polio enters into your body, also it cannot survive. So that's a very, very important thing we should remember. Okay, short-lived, long-lived.
Why is that with cold, sir?
Yeah, that's what cold. Many viruses causes cold, pathogens causes cold. Immunity develops, but it is short-lived. Cold is short-lived. That's why when new bacteria comes, again your body should develop immunity against that. Short-lived. But
Yes,
for
sir.
polio, for rabies, for corona, for HIV even, there are vaccines which are long-lived effect. It is having.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Fine. So look at the boxes, what they're talking. Barriers, how the body is protected. That's what we discussed till now.
Sir.
Outermost layer of skin, hair on skin, blood clot, cilia, windpipe, etc. And then we produce sweat, tears, saliva, HCl secretions, nasal secretions. All these fluids kills the bacteria and then thrown out. Like
Sir, how does sweat and tears help in killing bacteria?
yeah, because see, do you remember salt, malt, galt, balt? I
No,
told you
sir.
one. Do you remember or not?
No,
Just
sir.
a minute. Just a minute. What is called salt?
Sir,
Salt means what?
We add it in our food. It's a small
I'll tell
crystal
you. See,
substance.
salt means skin associated lymphoid tissue. Salt means what? Skin associated lymphoid tissue. Skin. So in your skin, under the skin, you have many immune cells. So the immune cells kills the bacteria or any pathogens present in your body and sends them through sweat. Okay, and sweat is salty and which is having lot of chemicals released by the immune cells. They prevent the entry of pathogens. And then if any dust enters into your eyes, you produce tears. In the tears, one enzyme is there. I told you all these things. What is the name of the enzyme in tears? Lysozyme. You all forget what is the name of the enzyme? Lysozyme. In your saliva and in your tears, they are present. And then in our stomach, HCl, acidic solution is produced.
yes, sir.
So, yeah, they are the natural mechanisms by which we prevent. Okay, fine. And next, of course, coughing, vomiting, sneezing, diarrhea, all these things are naturally to throw out the pathogen enter. In this chapter, this is what we discussed in earlier. Okay, fine. And then how we fight like with immunity, specific, non-specific, innate, acquired, active, passive. So like that different way we just classified immunity. Okay, fine. So keep that
Yes,
in mind.
sir.
And then AIDS stands for what?
Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we are encountered with the HIV virus, HIV stands for what?
Human immunodeficiency virus.
Yeah, human immunodeficiency virus. It kills your soldier cells in our body. Which cells are called soldier cells?
Sir, white blood cells.
Very good. White blood cells are called what? Soldier cells. So they kill them. Okay, that's why they got their name. And it is a sexually transmitted disease. Why it's called sexually transmitted disease? Mostly it is transferred by 99%. It is transferred by unprotected sexual contact with the infected person. Okay, so that's the way the HIV infections are spreading from one person to other person. Okay, fine. So that's it. It's very dangerous. And if it comes, your immune system gets weaker. If your immune system is weakened, and then lot of diseases you get. And also, I told the difference between disease and syndrome here. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. What is the difference between disease and syndrome?
Sir, disease. I don't know, sir. I forgot.
We discussed the disease in the sense it is just one disease. Okay, one problem. Psoriasis. What is psoriasis? Skin
Skin problem.
infection. Yeah, that's one disease. Syndrome in the sense, for example, HIV is the syndrome. Collection of symptoms, collection of disease. Like when people are infected with HIV, they have weight loss, they get skin infection, they get lung infection. Okay, so many parts,
Yes, sir.
private part, they get infections. So that is why collection of diseases we call them as syndrome.
Sir,
Okay.
collection of diseases is not syndrome, right? Sir,
With,
collection of
yeah,
collection
it
of
shows. Of course,
symptoms is right.
symptoms are what? Symptoms shows disease, like collection of disease. Okay, you get respiratory problem, you get skin problem, you face weight loss, you
Sir,
get
but
dry
all of
cough,
it is a symptom
disease.
for a disease.
Yes,
Okay.
interconnected. Symptoms are connected with diseases. Diseases are presented with symptoms. They're interconnected. That in that way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. So that's about AIDS. Now, they see there is one term called prophylaxis. What is it? Prophylaxis. Heard about this?
No, sir.
Prophylaxis means preventive measures. Okay, how you protect yourself from such kind of pathogens. That's what prophylaxis. Can you look at here? Prophylaxis.
Yes, sir.
Like how do you protect yourself from disease? Of course, we saw personal hygiene, public hygiene. Okay, already we discussed about that. Personal hygiene, public hygiene. Fine. More than that, you should be going for vaccination and immunization. Okay, so vaccination and immunization. So what is vaccination? It's the
Sir,
practice of
sir, it's like
yeah,
adding antibodies into our body. Sorry,
no,
antigen. My bad.
yeah, antigens into your body artificially, your deliberate introduction of pathogens, but in weak form. That's what vaccination. So that's one kind of prophylaxis, the preventive measures which we take. Okay, fine. There are different vaccines as we saw. Look at that polio drops, polio vaccine, rabies vaccine. Look at that smallpox vaccines against smallpox. Okay, there are different type of vaccines. How vaccines are classified? One important question. Okay, very very important question. How vaccines are classified? In
Sir,
how
by
many ways?
their like their period, like is the vaccine for short period or long period?
Hmm.
Like polio vaccines are for long period, and I don't know, sir.
See, based on how they are produced, nature of production. Look at that. Killed pathogens. Pathogens are dead. They are not at all alive. That's first type of vaccine. TAB vaccine for what? Typhoid. SARS vaccine. Why it is called Salk vaccine? For polio vaccine, you take Salk vaccine. Why it is called Salk vaccine? Because
It's scientific name.
yeah, Jonas Salk. Who is the person? Jonas Salk. He is the person who discovered vaccine. Okay, so that's why vaccine for polio. That's why that vaccine is called SAC vaccine for poliomyelitis. And then vaccine for rabies. Who discovered vaccine for rabies?
So Louis Pasteur.
Wonderful. Louis Pasteur discovered vaccine for rabies. Okay, anthrax, rabies for that Louis Pasteur. Fine. So killed vaccine. The pathogens are collected, they are killed and used as vaccine. So that's first type of vaccine. And then live weakened vaccines, or they also call it as what? Disarmed pathogens. Okay, maybe the bacteria are weakened, the efficiency is reduced. So such kind of vaccines are called what? Live living weakened vaccines. And in this method, measles, okay, disease like measles and tuberculosis. So living weakened vaccines are produced. And BCG, I told you, BCG stands for what?
Bacillus of
Sir,
Calmette
yeah,
Guerin.
Bacillus.
Bacillus
Guerin.
of Calmette and Guerin.
Yes,
BCG.
sir.
Okay, fine. After the name of the two French workers who developed the strain, Calmette and Guerin. So it's a BCG. Fine. And then living fully poisonous germs as for smallpox, the real pathogens. It is not dead, it is not weak, but as such, the vaccines are administered into the body, and then the blood sample is collected, and then it is formulated. So that's very, very important. The living functional poisonous vaccine or fully poisonous vaccine. And then finally, toxicoid vaccine. What's called toxicoid vaccine? They are toxins produced, not the bacteria as sole users vaccine or the virus as sole users vaccine, but the part of the pathogenic part of the bacteria and viruses are used as vaccine. So that's called what? Toxoid vaccine. Okay, fine. So they are the different type of vaccines. And now look into the chart. What is, read the definition and tell me what is vaccination, what is immunization. Can someone read it, understand it, and tell me?
Which one, sir?
What is vaccination and what is immunization? The definition,
Yes,
basic
sir.
definition. Here in box it is there, right? Vaccination is introduction of any kind of dead or weakened germs into the body of a living organism to develop, make the organism to develop its immunity. That's vaccination. Boosting immunity by introducing vaccine. That's vaccination. What is immunization? Make the
Developing.
body to respond well. Make the body to respond well. That's called what? Immunization. Okay, so vaccination and immunization, you should understand the basic difference.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then immunization. There are many, they call it as vaccine schedule, immunization schedule. Look into the table. Different type of vaccinations. 3 to 12 months, TTP. Okay. And for polio vaccine. And then BCG. So they are the different type of vaccines administered. And then measles vaccine, 1 dose, and 24 months, 18 to 24 months. Then you can go for what? DTP
DBT booster dose.
and polio booster dose. Booster dose we go for. And 5 to 6 years, then DBT, DT, diphtheria, tetanus, etc. And then typhoid vaccine. So like that, the vaccines are scheduled. Okay. Okay, we'll see the important thing. And now, are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So now, antitoxins, antibodies we discussed, vaccines, all these things we discussed. Now, antitoxins. What are called antitoxins? Again, antibodies. Okay, the term toxin and antitoxin. Basically, toxin is generally the poisonous substances entering into our body. They are called toxins, poisonous substances. Okay,
Yes,
for
sir.
example, snake venom, sting, scorpion attack, insect attack, or any other such kind of insect bite, whatever. So they causes diseases. They are very harmful. That's why they are called what? Antitoxins. Okay, they are called antitoxins. What are called antivenins?
Sir, what?
Antivenin, venom, snake venom, poisons from the snake, poisonous snakes. Their bite releases antivenom. Venomous
Sir,
basically.
anti-venins is basically poison of the snake, right?
No, medicine, it's medicine.
Yes, sir. Like,
Antidote. Active against poison. Active against poison.
sir, I'm saying that when a snake bites us and it's released and it
Certain poisons enter into your body.
yes, sir. The antibody for the antigen for the poison is basically the poison of the what is this poison of the snake, right, sir?
Yes, that antigens which are present in the poisonous means snake, that is antigen. For that, the body should develop antibody and we should design an antibody. Okay?
Sir, that
Like
anti the sir like the never mind, sir. Never mind. I'm confused.
Termites. What are you saying? Termites?
Nothing, sir. Nothing, sir.
Okay. So antitoxins. Against the toxins. Anti means against power. Against the toxins. Venins in the sense against venom. Snake venom. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
And then what is passive immunization?
Sir?
Passive immunization. Sometimes
I don't
your
know, sir.
body cannot able to produce antibody. Okay, no antibodies are produced in your body. What you can do? You can give yourself antibody injection. Okay, you can give yourself antibody injection. So that's why it is called what? Passive immunization. Okay, passive immunization. Fine. Now, what are called antiseptic and disinfectants? Very common thing hereafter you can
So
understand it.
antiseptic prevents fungus growth
Yeah,
on dead substances
yeah, they
and
are applied.
also
They are mild chemical substances which we apply on our body. These substances, okay, include what? Lysol, carboxylic acid, iodine, benzoic acid. So the all these substances are basically the antiseptic substances. Means kuti bacteria, or small bacteria, or any pathogens which you cannot see in the floor or whatever. So you use Lysol as floor cleaner. Okay, that's called antiseptic. And then disinfectants. You know very well now about disinfectants. Okay, what disinfectant you widely used during Corona? Disinfectant of your hand or whatever you used. Tell me, disinfectants. You sanitizer you used, right?
Sir, what was the question?
My question is, disinfectant kills the infectious agents. What kind of disinfectants you used during Corona?
Like this sir, like this mosquito thing, sir. Like usually mosquitoes breed in like the toilet areas,
Yeah.
right?
What
So
the disinfectant? What disinfectant you used?
sir, we used what is this?
Look at the examples are given. Cresol, phenol, Lysol, 40% formalin, lime, Brodex mixture, DDT, etc. They are the disinfectants which are used.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. And then look at the difference between disinfectant and antiseptics. Mild germ-killing chemicals are produced by antisepsis. Disinfectants, strong germ-killing substances. Here, cause no harm or skin and body, but may cause harm to the skin and body. And then applied on body, of course. Examples are here. Iodine, and phenol. Okay, fine. Now, antibiotics, another important thing. What called antibiotics? See, we finish this chapter in another 5 minutes. Then we can go for some. You don't have to disconnect yourself. Take over 5 minutes my silence break. Let us finish this chapter. Till that, you please pay some attention.
Yes, sir.
Antibiotics, again, chemical substances produced by microorganisms.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, antibodies are produced by your body, but antibiotics are produced by microorganisms. For their protection, still it is active against our body also. So they are called antibiotics. The first antibiotics are produced by Alexander Fleming. Okay,
Sir.
first antibiotics called penicillin,
Sir,
which is produced
yeah.
biotics, not
Yes.
antibody,
Yes, sir. Yes.
antibiotics.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, antibiotics. They are produced by first discovered by Alexander Fleming.
Alexander Fleming.
Okay, from which fungi he produced
Sir,
antibiotics.
sir, start something.
Name of the molecule is
Strategy, something. Sir, I know it, but I.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Do you remember now? Penicillium notatum. We discussed about antibiotics earlier itself. So it is Penicillium notatum. Okay, Penicillium notatum is the antibiotic. Means
Yes, sir.
producing fungi. It's a fungi. Fine. So that is what I discovered by Alexander Fleming. Okay, and of course it is an accidental discovery. Sometimes, like he left his culture and the culture got weakened, and that culture did not kill the pathogen. So that's how, based on his own basic research, he discovered this penicillin. Okay, fine. And then, what are STDs? Sexually transmitted disease. STD.
Yes, sir.
STD means sexually transmitted diseases. They are called what?
Yes.
STDs.
Yes, sir.
TD. T S for super, T for talent, D for dangerous. Okay, so not so, but just STD, sexually transmitted disease. Fine. Now, where you can get antibodies, antibiotics, penicillin. So can you see Penicillium notatum in the second line? Last
Yes,
paragraph,
sir.
second line.
That's
Yeah,
with Arun with
Penicillium.
penicillin.
Yeah, notatum. That's the main pathogen organism which basically produces antibiotics. Okay, fine. And then there are other different antibiotics are present. Penicillium chrysogenum, that is also producing penicillin. But Streptomyces species, okay, Streptomyces species produces streptomycin. Okay, streptomycin, which is produced by Streptomyces. Okay, fine. And then now tell me, what are the different kind of uses of antibiotics? Fights infection. Antibiotics are used in food preservatives, treating animal feed to prevent any infection, and then controlling pathogens. Okay, they are the main purpose function of antibiotics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then other medicine. They are talking about one medicine. What is it? Sulfonamide. What is the function of this sulfonamide?
Sir, are you there?
Sulfonamide. one molecule. See now, nowadays we use this chemical called sulfonamide.
No, sir.
Okay, sulfonamide to treat many pathogenic infections. Okay,
Yes, sir.
sulfonamide is one
Yes, sir.
important medicine used. And then in 1930s only, these sulfonamides are basically discovered. Look at the types of sulfonamides: sulfadiazine, sulfanilamide. They're the two sulfur drugs. Okay, so they are rarely used, and but in combination with antibiotics, they are fully effective. Okay, they are fully effective. Fine. So that's about this particular chapter, and then you can later you can have a practice session. So now take some. Don't go anywhere else. Now it is exactly 6:05. At 6:10 we will start and we will finish the rest of the chapters. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll be
Thank
back.
you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Start the class in 5 minutes. Just wait. Yeah. Relax for some time. Just 5 minutes. Hi, students. Welcome back. Are you all here? Hello. Hello, students. Can you hear me? Hello, students. Can you all
Yes,
able
sir.
to
Yes,
hear?
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now, so the next chapter, chapter 18, uh, very simple chapter, health organizations.
Sir,
Okay,
we're
just
already the chapter in our school, so if you want to skip it, we can.
okay, fine, good. So this is very simple chapter only. Okay, good. So all of you are okay with this health organization.
Sir, it's there's only very less portions, sir. Only
Hmm?
the sir,
Hmm.
the page entirely is cut, and then
Okay, this.
the
Oh,
points
this is
under
okay. So you
the
don't
first page.
know. We can
No,
skip this,
sir.
right?
It's just memorizing, sir. Nothing to understand this.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So the last chapter. Just a minute. So only one more chapter is remaining, right?
Hygiene chapter is left, sir. Hygiene.
That we discussed, right? Hygiene. Only waste
Oh yeah,
generation and
sorry. Not
management.
hygiene. Yeah,
Waste
that is.
generation and management, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Only the last one, waste generation and management. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. There's also only 4 pages, sir.
Very basics only. Okay, fine. So this is also very simple thing. Now you tell me. So what is waste? Hello, students. Define me. What is waste?
sir, waste is anything that is unnecessary.
Uh,
Mm,
yeah. Look at the definition there. Any substances which is discarded after primary use, or it is worthless, or it is defective, and there is no other use. So that is called what? Waste. Okay, fine. And nowadays, the amount of waste is increasing or decreasing?
increasing.
It is
Yeah,
increasing, sir.
increasing. Why it is increasing?
Sir, because of the
Because
population.
population is increasing.
Okay. See, something called what? Anthropogenic activities. Do you remember? Anthropogenic activities means what?
Yes, sir.
What?
Sir, what?
Anthropogenic activities.
Anthropogenic activities means like what to say, like, improper practices that causes waste and pollution.
Yeah, and human activities, all our activities, anthropogenic in the sense, human being activities, our activities only produces lot of waste. Okay, fine, good. Now the categories of wastes. What are the different categories of wastes? Look into the book and tell me.
Sir, organic
Categories.
waste, electronic waste, plastic waste, inorganic
Yeah,
waste, chemical
see,
waste.
look at here, categories first. 5 major categories of waste. Domestic waste from our houses, industrial waste from factories, agriculture waste. Okay, I will ask you one simple question which we discussed earlier. Can you give me harmful substances of agriculture waste? Example for an harmful substances, which is the product of
So
agriculture.
like some waste from animals, like they have methane in it, so it's harmful.
No, example I gave you with the abbreviation. One example. We discussed much about that chemical. Check and tell me. D. It starts with the
D-
D. Hmm?
DDT.
Very good.
DDT, sir.
DDT. Very good. Very good. So agriculture waste, and then municipal waste. See, that is even the waste we discussed the types: harmful waste, harmless waste. Okay, harmful and harmless. So here there are maybe in domestic waste there are harmful and harmless. Industrial waste there are harmful and harmless. And then agriculture waste also harmful, harmless. Like in municipal e-waste also. Okay, harmful and harmless wastes. Fine. Now each and every category is classified here. Look at that. Each and every category is classified here. Kitchen waste. What are the substances from kitchen waste?
Sir,
Mr. Peel.
yes, sir.
Yeah, shells of groundnuts, dry fruits, eggs, etc. Washing of pulses, rice before cooking, anything. Okay, rotten, non-usable substances, and then leftovers. They are kitchen wastes. What are now? Tell me, harmful kitchen. They are harmless. Most of them are harmless. But what are harmful kitchen waste?
Sir, plastic bottles,
Okay, they
Used,
are they can cause injury, but pathogenic, harmful and pathogenic hazardous.
so
rotten
like
food.
rotten food.
See, we use many detergents, right? Lot of chemicals,
Yes, sir. Cleaning
dishwasher,
agents.
yeah, dishwashers. Okay, so they are chemical substances. Okay, from domestic, many cleaning acids and many substances we use. So they are basically harmful to the environment. And then pathogenic also are present, like as you said, food spoiling substances, mold, etc. Now, plastics, of course, plastic packing, wrappings, we discard, and the flood occurred, and almost they connect with the plastic covers and plastic bottles. Okay, they only block the drainages. Okay, majority of the waste from drainages or plastics. Okay, fine. And then, what is the problem with plastic?
Sir, it is not biodegradable.
Yeah, wonderful. They're not biodegradable. It
Cause
takes
it'll stay in the
hundreds
soil
and
for
thousands
thousands
of
of
years,
years.
but may not be degraded properly. Okay, fine. Of course, glass, as you said, glass items, racks. Okay, waste piece of cloth, towel, handkerchief, old bedsheet, etc. They and then the paper. They are the basic domestic waste actually. And look at the industrial wastes. We saw there are different type of industry. Here they are talking about. Okay, so what are they? Mining operations, cement industries, oil refineries, construction units. Okay, so they
Hello?
So your screen share is off.
Well, So,
Yeah.
and,